It was supposed to be the start of a new life, but for thousands of Britons who headed off to France, the dream is rapidly turning into a nightmare. The soaring value of the euro against the pound has meant many are struggling. Our Paris correspondent Emma-Jane Kirby has been to the north of France to talk to disillusioned Britons.
OK, do you know what we need?
Shopping time at the Graves household near Calais.
Salad cream?
Although the family lives just 5 minutes away from the local supermarket, Mark takes the weekly order with him to England because the prices there are so much cheaper.
No, carrots are fine.
The Graves moved to France 4 years ago in search of a better quality of life. But these days, the poor exchange rate means they're really having to pay for it. Their holiday homes business has suffered badly. They haven't had a single customer since October.
We've had no one in, whereas ordinarily, you know, we would have quite a few people coming over for weekends, long weekends, and also quite a few people coming over for Christmas shopping. And that, because of the value for money, people just didn't come over. So, yes, it is, it's quite a serious problem for us.
And retired expats are really feeling the pinch. With pensions now worth a third less than 3 months ago, the Dobsons even considered leaving.
I had a panic moment where I said to my husband, that's it, we've got to go back to the UK, but we wouldn't be able to sell our house.
There's a few thatched cottages around here, but very few and far between.
Estate agents need the tide to turn quickly. Northern France used to be a favourite hunting ground for Brits looking for bargain holiday homes. But today, the weak pound won't buy you much.
The property prices are now 30% more expensive, so our luxury market of holiday homes has now gone out the window, I'm afraid. This time last year we were selling on average maybe 3-4 houses a month, but now we're lucky at the moment to sell a house every couple of months.
The Graves family plans to stick it out and to weather the storm. But unless the pound gathers strength quickly, it may be time for other expats to say au revoir. Emma-Jane Kirby, BBC News, Pas-de-Calais, France.
On Fast Track this week, we find out how a weak pound is forcing many holiday home-owning Brits to abandon France. And I'm in Bangalore to experience a past life regression break at a soul spa on the outskirts of India's IT capital. Join me, Rajan Datar, and my previous other selves on BBC World News. But first, we're off to France, where for close to 20 years, many Britons have been buying up holiday homes in search of the good life. Some others have gone as far as moving there permanently, but it seems the economic downturn is forcing many to rethink their plans. We sent Chris Bachman out there to meet some of them.
Je t'aime comme j'aime la musique. Tes cheveux noirs comme la nuit. Tes yeux brillants comme le soleil.
Jeannie and her husband are packing up and heading back to Norfolk in eastern England. They've spent more than 5 years in the stunning village Najac in the southwest of France, and giving up their home, Chateau de Pique, with views like this, is a wrenching decision. But they've decided it's time.
Very sadly, but very enriched by the experience, but we do have large families at home, and really that's the good reason for going back. But we could have left it longer, but if we get too wobbly, we won't manage a move like this, which has been absolutely huge to manage.
And they're not alone in making that decision. The British Embassy believes around 5 to 8% of British families are now leaving, and the current economic woes are the key factor. The pound has plunged in the last year against the euro, making it very hard for those relying on funds from UK banks.
Pensioners who are living here on their pension or an income from the UK have effectively lost 20% of their purchasing power in the last 12 months. That is a big issue when you also have inflation in France, which makes life difficult for them.
The evidence of the British retreat is everywhere. Many Brits live part-time in the UK and France with homes in both countries. With house prices sinking back home, the house in France is now a luxury they can no longer afford.
Robin!
Charles!
How you doing? How you doing? All right.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
Good news?
Not just yet, I'm afraid.
This British estate agent has been selling homes to foreigners in this part of France for 2 decades. Now those buyers are selling.
People who want to sell and need to sell are being very realistic about what they're prepared to accept. They've either brought their prices substantially down or will do. The others are saying, well, we can wait till this recession's over, in which case we won't be able to sell their properties for them.
Until recently, low-cost airlines flew into tiny airports all year round, making it easy to commute between rural France and the UK. But because of recession and high fuel prices, those airlines have slashed routes or only fly there during the summer. Many Brits who moved to France to open B&B accommodation have seen customers dry up due to oversupply, or tourists looking for cheaper holidays at home. Many Brits move here with little idea what life is really like in the French countryside all year round.
In recent years, a lot of younger Brits had also moved out to the French countryside and thought they'd find work. But it's been a struggle for them, especially as recently the job market has dried up in the French countryside.
A lot of people come down here on holiday, nice food, the wine, the sunshine, sometimes the seaside, and they believe that it would be a good idea to come down and live down here. Unfortunately, a lot of people, in my opinion, don't do the homework as they should, and they come down here believing they can get employment because they're a member of the common market, and this doesn't happen.
This group of British small business owners based in France who meet once a month for lunch say too many Brits have moved over in recent years to buy a much bigger home and think a good job will come along. Big mistake.
I think it depends what you want to do and where you want to be. To buy the dream home in the middle of the country and get a job, it's not going to work.
Nevertheless, there are some diehards who have no intention of leaving.
No, we're not moving back, no. Never, I don't think.
In fact, it's not hard to spot the long-term Brits in France. They're the only ones who don't think twice about sitting outside, drinking beer on a freezing winter night.
Like this here. They're nice, little skirt.
Quel est le nom de your carrière?
On est venu, tu sais, pour... C'est quoi le congelé, il y a quelque chose qui... Je vais bouger, hein, parce que...